In the world of the modern NBA, we see many athletes enter into the league with the aim of securing some lucrative amount of money being given out through all the contracts. As of the 2022-23 season, the rookie minimum contract is set to $953,000, which comes out to right over $500,000 after taxes in most states. Even just riding the bench for a few years in the modern NBA can grant you enough wealth to set you up for a lifetime. Despite this, every year you hear of more and more cases of previous NBA millionaires going absolutely broke, not being able to uphold their luxurious lifestyles or habits after they stop receiving their paychecks. When you think of the richest players in league history, you think of players that are national icons like Michael Jordan or LeBron James that have made millions of dollars on and off the court through their exceptional play and endorsement deals, or some players that have received close to $250 million through multiple max extensions like James Harden or Chris Paul. But what if I were to tell you there's a player that you've most likely never heard of, a legendary Milwaukee six-man that never even managed to make an all-star team, that turned out to be one of the biggest business savants that the NBA has ever seen? What's going on, everybody? It's Jazara, here to tell you the story of the richest NBA player you've most likely never heard of, Ulysses Lee Jr. Bridgeman. Jr. was born all the way back in September of 1953 in East Chicago, Indiana, and had been a basketball player since birth. In high school, he decided to pursue basketball as something more than a hobby. His Washington High team went on an undefeated 29-0 run his junior year, all the way up to the state championship. Between his amazing play and contribution towards winning basketball, Jr. earned himself a scholarship to the University of Louisville. He was an exceptional college player as well. In 3 seasons of varsity, he was a 2-time Conference Player of the Year and led his team to the Final Four in 1975. At 6'5" and averages of 15, 8, and 3, Bridgeman went number 8 overall in the 1975 NBA draft to the Los Angeles Lakers. You might think that his profits came from some lucrative Hollywood deal or endorsements through being a Laker, but he never actually suited up for the team. Just 3 weeks after the draft, Jr. was included in a trade package to Milwaukee for Lou Alcindor, now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The all-time great brought the Milwaukee Bucks their first championship, but looked to move to Hollywood to avoid religious persecution and potentially gain some more business-related offers. Unbeknownst to Kareem, Bridgeman would go on to make a lot more money than the 19-time All-Star through hard work on and off the court. Throughout Bridgeman's 12-year career, he accumulated a number of accolades. He's in the 10,000 point club, has his number retired by the Milwaukee Bucks, and until last season held the record for most games played by a Milwaukee Buck player, being passed by Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had a total of $4.2 million in earnings throughout his career, with a peak contract of $350,000 a year. With a paycheck like this, he was obviously well off, but how did he manage to turn that into over $600 million in net worth? Bridgeman took a rather interesting approach to accumulating his wealth. He spent many off-seasons working at a local Wendy's drive-thru to learn the company's business model and what it took to run a successful business. By the time he retired, he had already purchased 3 Wendy's locations, which would be the beginning to a long list of future purchases. Before cashing out in 2016, he was the proud owner of over 450 restaurants, ranging across 20 different states, including 263 of his claim to fame, Wendy's, and 123 Chili's restaurants. I put together some math with some different numbers I found from articles online about how much a franchise owner can make on these locations. On average, a Wendy's franchise owner can earn anywhere from $66,000 to $100,000 a year, while a Chili's franchise owner ranges anywhere from as low as $30,000 up to $100,000. Taking these, we can assume that Bridgeman was bringing in anywhere from $21 to $38 million a year before taxes just off of these assets. In 2018, Bridgeman made the leap into learning the ropes around owning a Coca-Cola bottling warehouse. Just like Ulysses did with the NBA and his fast food enterprise, he successfully dove into this new field. He's now serving as the president and CEO of Heartland Coca-Cola. This was a huge gain for Bridgeman, as Coca-Cola is one of the longest running companies in the US history, opening all the way back in 1892. Holding such a high position in such a prestigious company is only setting him and his family up for future success. In 2020, he purchased both Ebony and Jet magazine for a total of $14 million. The magazines are 2 long-running African-American focused prints, putting focus on culture, news, and entertainment. Being decade-long running magazines, when they faced bankruptcy in 2020, Bridgeman knew he needed to step in and help keep something that meant so much for so many people alive. While might not have been through a lucrative sneaker deal or being a max superstar player, Ulysses Lee Bridgeman still managed to be one of the 5 richest NBA players of all time. He saw an alternative path to success and managed to make hundreds of million dollars in the process. As a born leader and businessman, we can all learn something from Mr. Bridgeman. Thank you all so much for watching. This is a new style of content that I'm trying to give a shot. I've always been interested in learning about the history of literally anything: music, movies, sports, video games, just anything. And my favorite part is all the different rabbit holes that it can take you down. I'm planning on finding more topics that aren't as well known or talked about and taking deeper dives into them. If you all enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to help me out with the algorithm. I mean, shoot, you can watch the video again if you want all the way through. Until next time, guys, Jay-Z out.